Hey Team Thompson, happy Monday. It is Spirit Week from home. So today is rep your favorite sports team. So here's my favorite sports team. And I even made a sign for today's Spirit Day because you know I'm so into sports. I'm a huge fan of all the teams. Here's my sign. Woo! Go sports! Yay! I don't know much about sports, but I hope you guys had a good. I'm just dropping things. It's a mess over here. Okay. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I spent a ton of time outdoors. I went walking with Cooper and my sister for a really long walk, and I went fishing with James and his mom, and let's see, what else did I do? Oh, we went on a really long bike ride. I spent lots of times with Bun Bun. So I'm going to put some of those pictures here. And this next picture is the moment I thought I had a huge fish, and James was like, "Come on, Lainey, you got a big one." And it was a rock. Check this picture out. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you guys get outside this week because on Wednesday it's Earth Day. So there's going to be some special things we're doing this week to celebrate Earth Day. Just spend lots of time outdoors if you can, or just enjoy looking out the window, work near a window that you have cracked open, whatever. Enjoy the outdoors and appreciate all that we have. I feel like since we've been quarantined and since we've had to stay home, the air feels fresher and cleaner outside. There's no pollution from planes flying overhead, well, hardly any at all. And just see if you notice that as well. Okay, so each day this week is Spirit Week. Today is Tackle Monday by wearing your favorite sports jersey. Tuesday is wear mismatched clothes, crazy hair, have fun, and look wacky and tacky. On Wednesday, we're going to celebrate the earth, the plants, and the animals. So you can dress like a plant, dress like an animal, or wear something cool that celebrates the earth, or just send me a picture of you enjoying everything outdoors. Thursday is Throwback Thursday. Wear one of your old Halloween costumes. Get dressed up in a costume. And then Friday, it's MRH Spirit Day. So wear all your blue, everything MRH you have, put it on. And I want you guys to send me pictures of you celebrating Spirit Week from home, just like you get to see me in my videos every day. I had to decide what costume to wear Thursday. But send me pictures of you working on the lessons while you're dressed up in this spirit wear, okay? Or in your Spirit Week stuff. All right, so tomorrow is Tuesday, and I'll be sending out a super important email to your families. It'll have any updates for the week, any important links that I want them to see. One of those important links is a Google Meet form. So I have got, I think, 7 people in our class right now scheduled to meet with me either Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday in their own Google Meet, where they can ask me whatever questions they want about school, where we can catch up, we can chat, whatever you need. So if you want to spend some time with Miss Thompson, you or your parents need to sign up for a Google Meet on that Google form. Okay, I hope to see you. Our class meeting is on Wednesday. Skirt. Class meeting is Thursday, always at 1 o'clock. And I will hope to see you all there. We had almost every single kid in our class last time, except a couple. So I hope you can get on this time. And again, if you're having trouble getting onto Google Meet, that means you need to sign up for a conference with me, and maybe just email me if you're not sure how to use Google Meet. Okay? All right, so I am excited to be talking with you guys today just because I miss you a lot, and I am all in my feelings today because I just went up to school and cleaned out what I wanted to bring home from the classroom because I won't be able to go in there for the rest of the school year, and I brought a couple of things home that remind me of the classroom. I brought home the blanket from the kindness chair. I brought home that rug that Addie would fix every day in the library. And I brought those home to wash them, but also to have to give to Bun Bun in his cage. I want Bun Bun to kind of get used to things from our classroom so that I can bring Bun Bun to school with me next year. Yay! And I brought home Chicho, of course, because I missed him. And I brought home some of the plants. Gigi, you can see good vibes back there in the little hedgehog. The plants are not doing well, so I'm going to replant them. And I brought home our essential oil diffuser so I can smell like I'm in the classroom and be wide awake. I brought home our calendar so I can keep track of, what's going on in my busy, hectic life at home. So yeah, it was weird being at school. I think it really hit me that I'm closing up my classroom door, and it made me really sad that I wasn't going into work to see you guys today. Our exhibit's still holding on pretty strong. Did you guys just hear Lulu snore? She just snored really loud. Anyways, I also took care of the chickens, and that was nice too. Waking up and starting your day where you take care of something is, or have a routine like that has been really helpful for me. So going in this morning, every morning I do happy hour with Bun Bun and play with Bun, and then this morning going to take care of the chickens and play with Lulu and Cooper. It was a nice way to start the day. But I got to quit rambling and read Wild Robot, because today and tomorrow are the days that I write all of our units for the week and shoot the videos, because I'm a celebrity movie star now and YouTube star. And I got to get going on that, or else I'm not going to have them done in time. So I'll get started. Okay. Wild Robot, a great book to be reading during Earth Day week. All right, so let's see what was going on. Roz formed a truce with all the animals in the nest for winter. Brightbill's on his flight, but all the animals are staying warm with Roz. So Roz is bringing a lot of peace to the forest, which is really fascinating. At first, she was causing all this disturbances, and now she's bringing peace to them. What is my hair doing? Okay, chapter 56, the new lodges. The second lodge would have to be bigger than the first if it was going to fit Broadfoot, the bull moose. He was a towering hulk of an animal and had a thick coat of fur, but even he was struggling with the frigid temperatures. Broadfoot lived on the other side of the pond in a dense section of forest that was home to many animals, most of whom were in desperate need of a good thaw. The winter days were short, so there was no time to waste, and rather than walking all the way around the pond, Roz tested its frozen surface to see if it was safe to cross. Ooh, that sounds dangerous. She threw a heavy rock high in the air and watched it bounce off the hard ice. Then she carefully walked over the ice and into the forest on the other side, where she found Broadfoot waiting for her. The moose quietly led the robot to the clearing in the trees where the new lodge would go. Then Roz made a fire and watched as cold creatures began crawling out from the shadows. "Do not worry," the robot said to the growing crowd, steam puffing from their noses. "You will all be warm soon, but I need your help." Roz asked the animals to collect anything useful they could find. Large stones, strong branches, chunks of frozen mud, and with the robot's building expertise and the small army of helpers, construction of the second lodge didn't take long. The animals happily agreed to the robot's truce, and then they shuffled into the warm wooden dome. "If you keep the fire alive, it will keep you alive," explained Roz as she dropped another log into the flames. "But be careful. Fire can turn deadly in an instant." At dawn, heavy snow was falling again, and there was Roz, setting out from the nest to build a third lodge. She trudged into the great meadow where fierce winds had created enormous, sweeping snowdrifts. But she powered through and finished the job, and was soon beginning work on a fourth lodge, and then a fifth. The island became dotted with lodges that all glowed warmly through those long winter nights, and inside each one, animals laughed and shared stories and cheered their good friend Roz. I knew that this was going to happen. Guess what chapter 57 is called? The Fire. Oh, look at this. Strange sounds were echoing from the far side of the pond. What started as a low murmur gradually swelled to a chorus of terrified voices. There was an eerie glow in that part of the forest, and a thick plume of smoke began rising up from the snowy treetops. Roz charged across the ice and found the second lodge completely engulfed by raging fire. Frightened animals were running in every direction, fleeing for their lives through the deep snow. "What happened?" shouted Roz as Broadfoot galloped wildly past. "We put too many logs in the fire," he said without stopping. "The flames climbed up to the ceiling." "My baby is still in there," cried a mother hare, pointing at the burning lodge. "Somebody help, please." Roz didn't hesitate. She plowed through the snow and ducked into the lodge. Flames and smoke were everywhere. A tall stack of logs. Why am I reading so weird today? A tall stack of logs blazed in the fire pit. And in the far corner, a tiny ball of fur was shaking with fear. Crouching low, the robot wound her way beneath the smoke and around the flames and gently scooped up that young baby hare. "Do not worry," Roz yelled over the roar of the fire. "You're going to be okay." She turned to leave, but the doorway had started to crumble, so she shielded the hare with her body and smashed right through the walls of the lodge. Sizzling pieces of wood went flying as the robot and the hare burst outside into the soft snow. "Oh, darling, you're all right," cried the mother hare, pulling her daughter close. "Thank you for saving my baby, Roz." Now that everyone was safely away, the robot turned her attention to putting out the fire. Her glowing eyes darted around as she computed a plan. Then, with all the strength in her legs, Roz launched herself high up into the snowy branches of the nearest pine tree. A moment later, the tree was shaking violently, and heaps of snow were sliding from the branches and pouring onto the flames like an avalanche. That was really brilliant. Steam hissed up through the smothering mound of snow. The flames quickly died. The snow quickly melted, and within minutes, all that remained was the charred foundation of the lodge. Roz dropped down from the tree and waited as the frightened animals slowly returned. Then she said to them, "Would you like another lodge?" The animals looked at one another, unsure of what to do. Understandably, they were afraid of another fire breaking out, but they were far more afraid of the deadly cold. So they pulled together and worked with Roz and built a bigger, better lodge on top of the old one. It had a taller ceiling, a deeper fire pit, and it was made with more rock and less wood. And it had a supply of water for emergencies. But the most important safety features of this rebuilt lodge were the lodgers themselves, who now had a whole new respect for fire. All right, I usually just do 2 chapters a day, but I'm going to keep going. One reason is because I got a new book for us to read when I finish this one, and I'm excited to read it with you. Chapter 58, The Conversations. Thanks to Roz's truce, life inside the nest was mostly harmonious, but when the animals went outside, it was business as usual. Sometimes a lodger wouldn't return. Sometimes a lodger would return in the belly of another lodger. As you can imagine, that made for some awkward moments. So when everyone was gathered around the fire, they tried to keep things pleasant by having conversations like these. "I wonder what Brightbill is doing right now." Chit-Chat lay on her back and looked at the ceiling as she spoke. "And where he is and who he's with, if he ever thinks about us back here on the island." "Oh, I'm sure he thinks about us," said Roz. "I think about him all the time. I like to imagine that the geese had a fun flight to the wintering grounds, and now Brightbill is floating on a lovely lake, eating yummy food and making wonderful new friends, but hopefully they're not too wonderful, because I'd like to stay his best friend if possible." "That's a nice thought," said Roz, "but I worry that the flock might have gotten caught in the icy weather. I do not think they would handle it well." "Don't worry, I'm sure they're fine," said Chit-Chat. "Brightbill is such a great flyer that I just know he'll keep the flock out of trouble." "He is a great flyer," said Roz, "but I still worry." "Life is short." Dig Down the Old Groundhog was giving another one of her fireside speeches. "I'll be lucky if I see the spring. I don't want your pity. I've had a good run, but I'll tell you what. If I could do it all over again, I'd spend more time helping others. All I've ever done is dig tunnels. Some of them were real beauties, too, but they're all hidden underground, where they're no good to anyone but me. And they weren't even good to me this winter. Now the beavers, they have it all figured out. They built that beautiful dam, which created a lovely pond that made all our lives better. That must feel mighty good." "The beavers made our lives better in another way," said Fink. "They taught Roz how to build." "Ain't that the truth?" said Dig Down. "Roz, you must have saved half the island with your lodges. And to think we used to call you a monster. I'll repay my debt to you if it's the last thing I do." "Your friendship is payment enough," said Roz. Oh, please. Your sweetness is going to make me sick. There must be something we can do. Your friendship really is enough. Friends help each other, and I'll need all the help I can get. My mind is strong, but my body will not last forever. I want to survive as long as possible, and to do that, I need the help of my friends. The animals listened quietly to Roz and thought of their own struggles to survive. Life in the wilderness was hard for everyone. There is no escaping that fact. But the robot had made their lives a little easier, and if ever they could, the animals would return the favor. I have seen 93 winters, far more than any of you. Crag the turtle spoke slowly, but everyone always listened to his words. And I can tell you that the winters have gotten colder, and the summers have gotten hotter, and the storms have gotten fiercer. I heard that the ocean has gotten higher, said Chit Chat, but I don't see how that could be true. I mean, where would all the extra water come from? You are right. The ocean is higher, said Crag. My grandfather used to say that long ago this island was not an island at all. It was a mountain surrounded by flat lands. And then the ground shook and the oceans grew and the land slowly flooded until the mountain became this island. Animals from far and wide were forced to come here to escape the floodwaters. In those early days, there were too many animals living in too small a place. The island did not have enough food to feed them all, but between fighting and disease and famine, a balance was finally reached, and we have kept the balance ever since. Chit Chat's eyes grew wide with concern. If the ocean keeps rising, the island will be swallowed up by the waves, and I don't even know how to swim. If the waves ever do swallow this island, it will not happen for a very long time, said Crag. By then, we will all be long dead, even me. Everything has a purpose. It was Swooper's turn to lecture the lodgers. The sun is meant to give light. Plants are meant to grow. We owls are meant to hunt. We mice are meant to hide. We raccoons are meant to scavenge. Roz, what are you meant to do? I do not believe I have a purpose. I respectfully disagree, said Swooper. Clearly you were meant to build. I think Roz was meant to grow gardens. Roz is definitely meant to care for Brightbill. Perhaps I'm simply meant to help others. What do you guys think Roz's purpose is? The next chapter is called The Spring, so hopefully Brightbill comes back then. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you all on YouTube tomorrow when I do the next few chapters. And tomorrow you're going to be wearing tomorrow is Wacky Tacky Day. So Tuesday, Wacky Tacky. Wednesday, Earth Day theme. Thursday, Throwback Thursday, wear an old costume. Okay, so we're going to get really silly that day. And Friday, MRH Spirit Wear. All right, I will see you soon. Happy Monday, guys.